You're ignorant.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Hey everyone, it's Leo with the Dreaming Tree, and I know you guys have been waiting a while for me to, well, finally showcase my haunted barn. Let's just say that the era of COVID has been very trying in a lot of different ways. We're not going to talk about that. I think I talk about it a little bit in the assembly videos for the last Halloween products. So if you want to hear me blab about that, you're welcome to. But without further ado, and actually you've already kind of seen the haunted barn here. I might have said cabin initially. But I wanted to pay homage to one of my favorite films of all time, that being Night of the Living Dead, the original from, I believe it was 1963, the black and white one. I think it's probably one of the, well, scariest movies just because it was black and white, which really makes it even creepier. So I kind of went with a dark look because obviously it's for Halloween. You can actually see the original here. I'll show you. Here's the original one. And this is done in traditional colors. Let me flip this down real quick. And you can see the difference between the two. Obviously, well, this one is a little more macabre. And I wanted to make this video so that I could show you some of the various things that I did to accomplish this look, 3 of which are free downloads available on our website. So I actually want to talk about that first. So if you head on over to our website, and you'll notice under the free SVG files main option here, you'll get a drop down, and there's an option for free printables, okay? And what you'll see here is, well, there's 3 of them. We have the corrugated metal roof. This is a digital paper. And then we'll have the weathered barnwood. And actually, I have both of these in front of me here. So this is the corrugated metal roof that you see on the actual top here. And then this is the barnwood texture that you see on the side of the actual barn here. Okay, so these are digital papers. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with digital papers, essentially what it means is, well, we provide the file. So here's what I'm going to do. I'll show you real quick. This is just like downloading anything else from our website. We're going to add it to your cart. This is for the roof. I'm going to add this to my cart. This is for the barnwood paper. And then we also have this Zombies printable vellum. I'm going to click on this and just show you here. So you'll notice again, let me just remove some of these things here so that they don't get in the way. Instead of just regular vellum, I actually went ahead and added, well, some zombies in the windows because it's Night of the Living Dead. They're terrorizing and taking over my barn here. And I've got different zombies on all the sides here. And I've actually gone ahead and included various colors of the vellum. So what that means is, and I'll show you here, you can look on the computer here. You can see that I've included a green version, an orange version, purple version, a yellow version, and a red version. So depending on, you know, what colors you go with or what floats your boat, I guess, you can select whichever color you want. And what you're going to do, so we'll get to that here in a second, but let me add this to the cart. So I have all 3 freebies in my cart right now. Okay, and if you look at the cart, you can see we've got the metal roof, the barnwood, and the printable vellum. They're absolutely free. Now, obviously, you're going to need to buy the barn if you want to, you know, customize it and make it spooky. But you're going to check out just as you would with any other product. And we're going to print these. Okay, so the paper, I literally just cut this out. Well, I took a 12 by 12 sheet of paper because I don't have a 12 by 12 printer. I've included 12 by 12 versions of this paper because some of you actually do have printers that are capable of printing on full sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock. I used to, and it broke, and I'm never spending that much money on another 12 by 12 printer again. So we've also included an 8.5 by 11 version, and you can see what the end result is after you actually print it out on your printer. The same is true for the vellum. Now this is just, I purchased, this is laser translucent vellum, specifically made for laser printers. Okay, so I have two printers because my inkjet does not, it doesn't understand vellum for some reason. So if you have some vellum, try printing it with your regular printer. It may work. There's something with my printer, which is this Epson, I think. I'll link all of the equipment that I used on the actual blog post for this in case you're interested. But my inkjet printer does not read this paper because it has some sort of a sensor that shines light at the material to make sure that it's there, and it doesn't pick this up because it's translucent. So I had to print my vellum on my laser printer, but that is not always the case. Some, and actually probably most, inkjet printers will be able to print on vellum, and it's a very common thing. I just happen to buy the one printer that doesn't. Okay, so essentially what we're doing is we're opening these files, and I'm going to show you here. Okay, so we're gonna download these just like we do everything else. Okay, so I'm just clicking to download them. I've got the 2 digital papers and the vellum. Okay, so we're gonna download these, and let me open it up. I'm on a Mac here, so let me show you what this looks like after you download it. Okay, so here is the zombie vellum. And in order to read these, well, there's 2 options. I include PNG files, and PNG files you can just open up on any computer and print them. The PNG file is there, but I highly, highly, highly recommend using the PDF version of the same file. I've included both. There's a PNG file version and a PDF version. Now, in order to open and read PDF files, most Macs can actually do it automatically. On a PC, you may need to download, if you don't already have it, a program called Adobe Reader. If you just go to Google and type in Adobe Reader, it's completely free. You can download it, and this is the program that opens up PDF files. And so you can see here, I've opened this up, and essentially it's green with our little zombies exactly where they need to be to fit the windows properly. So you're simply going to open this up and just hit File, Print, and print it out, okay? And again, end result will look similar to this. You can see it's translucent. Obviously, this is the side that you want up against the, well, showing actually, facing you, because this side is a little bit lighter, okay? And same goes with the paper. So here, let me show you real quick. The paper is gonna actually open up the same exact way. So let's open up the weathered barnwood. You need to unzip it just like every other one of our files. And here you'll see there's a 12 by 12 version and a letter version. Okay, we've got the PNG version and the PDF version. I'm gonna open up the PDF version. There it is. And literally just go to File, Print. Oh, I opened up the 12 by 12 version, that's why. So we open up the 8.5 by 11 version, go to File, Print, and you can see there it is, and you literally just print it out, and here is your paper, just like any other digital paper. Now, if you have a borderless mode, you can use that too to get more out of the paper. That's fine. It's not required, because for this project, I think this is, you're going to need 2 sheets of this either way. And for the actual roof, I think just 1 sheet is all I needed, if my memory serves me correctly. So anyway, and then once you have everything cut out, and I'm actually going to cut this out because I'm going to show you a few things. Once you have it cut out, you simply just apply it like you would any other pattern paper. Okay, so it's not difficult at all, and it kind of, well, opens up some possibilities here to customize things. And I'm going to be doing a lot more of this actually, as far as offering these digital freebies to add textures or pattern papers or whatnot. I'm kind of a texture-y sort of guy, you know, as far as my home decor goes. I do like that country industrial sort of look, so that's why we have this here. And of course, my love of all things Halloween. So anyway, I'm gonna get this cut out because I wanna show you a few things that I did with the roof, okay? Okay, so I just got done cutting the panels for the roof here. I was actually using my design space here on my iPhone just because it's quick and convenient. Now, one thing I do want to mention, for the sake of simplicity, I mean, if you know how to do a print and cut, I don't think this is going to work with print and cut because it's a fully flattened PDF. For the vellum, I would just cut this out by hand, just because it's simple. It's actually oversized, so you don't need to, I mean, you could technically even cut way out here. It doesn't matter. You're not going to see it. And when we create these vellum pieces, we always make them bigger than they need to be so that you don't need to worry about being perfect with your cutting. So as far as the vellum goes, you can cut that out by hand. That's fine. And then the panels for the roof, as well as the barn wood, those, you take your sheet of digital paper, you print it out as you saw, and then you just put it on your mat just like you would any other pattern paper and cut the file. Okay, and you can see how you have these beautiful corrugated metal panels. And you know, these here, these are the ones that are on the edge. There's a little fold on those, so you're going to want to fold those. And now, one other thing that I did, just to kind of jazz it up, because of course this is never enough for me. I always have to take it to another level. And I'm going to show you here with this one. I'll peel these off. This is a brand new mat. It's kind of super sticky. But you'll notice that I added a little bit of oomph to mine, because it doesn't, notice that it doesn't look like that, right? So you could use it like this as is. I was somewhere in a rabbit hole on YouTube one night when I discovered gilding wax, and I started playing with it because I thought it was fun, and I like the, you know, the gold and the silver. I saw it, they were using it to take just standard lamps and give them like a vintagey look, and I thought this would be perfect for this project. So anyway, actually before I did that, of course, I took a little bit of, you can take brown, in my case I went with black, and I took some black ink and I just ran that ink and just kind of hit the sides of this to darken it up a little bit. Now this is, it's solid core, but it's white. So I wanted to kind of hide the edges and then also just kind of hit the top edge, the actual surface a little bit with a little bit of ink. Let me move this out of the way. Okay, so I did that with all the panels. I actually did that with the barn wood too. I did not emboss the barn wood. I thought that was fine the way it was, and I don't really have an embossing folder that works very well in unison or in conjunction with the barn wood. So I left it as is. If you want to emboss it, you can. But I went ahead and embossed these, and it just so happens that Doris makes this really cool folder that almost looks like a corrugated roof, because you can see on this, the light, when it hits it, it is playing off of it. There is a texture here. It's embossed, okay? So check this out. You can literally pop it in here and almost exactly, well, it's not quite, but it's good enough. It gives the illusion of each of these little sections of this corrugated roof. It almost is going to make them look like they are raised. And you just want to make sure that they're not like this. Just line it up with the nice vertical lines there. Close it up. Okay. And I'm going to grab my handy little, this is the Sizzix Texture Boutique. And the reason I'm using this instead of my Cuttlebug is because the Cuttlebug puts way too much pressure on this specific folder. It's fine for most other folders, but for this one I always go with the Texture Boutique because it doesn't crush the paper and destroy it with this folder. Now I still may get some cracks. If that's the case, you can, I've never done this, you can mist the paper with a little bit of water so that the fibers loosen up a little bit, but you can see, let me see if you can see that texture there. Yeah, see that? You can see how instead of being flat, it's got a nice corrugated look, and it almost completely blends in with the little pattern on there as well. It works. Okay, so a little bit of ink, a little bit of embossing, and then finally I added a little bit of the gilding wax, as I mentioned. And to me, well, actually, the way I saw them doing it online was they're actually doing it with their finger on some things, but I just grabbed some brushes, and I guess, you know, however big or small you want your brush, that's totally up to you. And what I would do maybe is just grab a scrap piece of paper. If you've never worked with gilding wax, it's not hard. It's kind of like inking, except I'm doing it with a brush. I tried it with the foam pad. I didn't like it. And I just kind of hit my brush in there just to get a little bit out, and then I kind of flatten it out a little bit just to make sure I don't have way too much on there. And then on these that were already embossed, I literally just took and just kind of hit it. Nice fast strokes. I tried to like draw it, but it just didn't look natural. So I literally just kind of went along and just real fast strokes. And of course, this is going to change how everything looks depending on the size of your brush. Okay, so you can see that nice gold that's hitting that now. Okay, and again, however much or however little you want, just go ahead and have some fun with it and just hit it. Now, I didn't even have to reapply this. There's still tons of this on my brush, and it gives it a really nice aged and metallic sort of look. Okay, so that's that. And then of course, I was gonna just do one color, but then I decided to hit this with a little bit of silver as well, since, I don't know why it does that. But it's just an interesting medium to play with, and I had a lot of fun with it, and I really like the metallic look about it. So, and then with the silver, I went a little bit heavier with that, and just make it random. Okay, I think that looks really cool. And it really brings out the colors that are already there, adds nice contrast. And I did that to all of the panels on my barn until they were ready to be glued down. That's it. I love that texture, and you can absolutely use that texture in other projects, maybe on a Christmas project. You could turn this into a Christmas barn using that same digital paper. I'm gonna release some other wood grain digital papers as well. I think you guys will definitely put those to use on various projects. We're always making little structures and houses and villages. So I really think for those of you that like that, you know, that sort of look, that country look or industrial, they'll definitely come in handy. So again, as I mentioned, I will try to link as much as I can as far as supplies at the bottom of the video as well. I'm probably going to put together a little blog post so everything is nice and centralized. But I do want to show you one thing before I say goodbye, and that is the official Dreaming Tree app, which I'm opening up here. And aside from staying up to date with the latest products and then the freebies and all that stuff, at the bottom here under Craft Central, there's a link to supplies. Okay, this is where you can find cardstock. This is where you can find vellum. This is the colored vellum. Okay, glue, and then one thing that I was mentioning before here, the Sizzix Texture Boutique. We used to have the Cuttlebug on here, but they discontinued it, so this is the only one that I have right now. This is the same thing as this, except mine is a purse. It does the same thing anyway. And so anyway, head on over to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Download the apps that you have, everything Dreaming Tree all in one place. You can even text me directly using the help section as well. So anyway, In just a day or two, I'll be in the studio working on the next 3, and it's going to be the last Halloween bundle of 2020, so I'm excited to do that. And as always, I look forward to crafting with you again.